Angelina and Sophie here. Welcome to the 9th edition of Upper Valley Access,
your monthly video magazine. This month, we sat down with Greg Lewis and Executive Director Bob Franzoni from CATV to discuss how City Council and cable access are stronger together.
We take a look at Leadership Upper Valley, a program designed to inspire our community leaders.
We also got the chance to explore Downward Facing Dog with Upper Valley yoga instructor Adam Steinberg.
Continue watching to see how Spark Community Center is doing 5 months after their grand opening.
Enjoy.
Well, a few years back, actually, I'd kind of have this frustration in me when I would talk to my friends who also experienced disabilities like myself, and I'd ask them what they were doing. They'd be like, oh, I went for a walk in Walmart. And I'd be like, what, did you have to like buy something? They'd be like, no, I just went for a walk with my aide. And you talk to other people, they'd be sitting in a Books A Million, even though they couldn't read, but it was a good, comfy chair to loiter in, or they'd be sitting at the airport. There were people just driving aimlessly around looking for something inexpensive or with no expense to do. And it was becoming more and more apparent that that's what a lot of people were doing. It got me kind of upset, and then I started thinking, and I started bouncing ideas off with my co-founder, Lisa Green, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a place where we could have art projects and science, and maybe one day build a community garden so that everyone could come and grow fresh produce, have a kitchen program, and through it all have it be accessible to people of all abilities, but be ultimately a community center that welcomes everyone in the community, as long as they're open to the idea of celebrating the spark that all people with disabilities have to offer. Lisa and I only met like a year and 2 months ago, and literally in 8 months from our conception of the idea of Spark to completion, that's how long it took. And people were saying, oh, this is crazy building a nonprofit like this from the ground up. Like, nonprofits, good luck, you won't get your nonprofit status for years, it'll take too long, it won't happen. But it seemed like everything just clicked into place. It was like a domino effect. The day that we opened is when it really hit me, like, it wasn't just in our heads, it wasn't just Lisa and my vision, it was something that everyone in the community was yearning for, because this place was packed. And to this day, we have 30 or more people strolling through the doors and taking advantage of the amazing programs and classes we have to offer.
It is fun for people to be here because they have a lot of friends here and very nice people.
Ultimately, the center is run by the wishes of the participants. If they want a new activity or program and we can make it happen, we try to make it happen. And I mean, that's kind of been the dream of it all. I mean, it's a place that doesn't have classes going every hour because we want people to feel relaxed and able to use it as a home base away from their own home. Sparks of the Round Table is offered on Tuesdays now, and it's an opportunity for members of the center to give their input on activities that we offer.
I like to come to Spark because I enjoy making lots of new friends, and I enjoy the classes here. Like currently on Wednesdays they have knitting at 2, so I enjoy doing that, and I also enjoy Friday fun nights.
On Fridays, I read from, a young adult fantasy novel that's kind of a Peter and the Starcatchers book.
I think Spark is a very fun environment for people.
We are always looking for volunteers.
I volunteer here and I enjoy every minute of it. It's awesome.
The cool thing about Spark is that if you have a talent or gift that you want to share with people, we call that a spark. So here at Spark, we want you to come and share your spark with us.
Spark is a wonderful place, always with lots of activity going on, and it's open to everybody, as I'm sure you've heard, in the community.
The idea for Spark came about when I looked at my friends with disabilities, and then quickly I realized that this should be a center for everyone, not just for people with disabilities. And sometimes that strikes people as, well, that's odd. I mean, you have such a great niche in the disability community, but I feel that it wouldn't be a community without everyone. And so we want everyone to come. And it's really been starting to open up. We've had people from the college and from local community churches and all over start coming and volunteering. So I hope you guys will be next. When are we gonna catch those boys? I want the box backs me. Yes, Captain. Yes.
just a wonderful web of the mind and the heart.
I'm Stacy Glazer, and I'm the manager of the Leadership Upper Valley program here at Vital Communities. Leadership Upper Valley is a program of Vital Communities where we give 25 to 30 participants a year the chance to learn more about the Upper Valley, to network with other leaders in the area, and to get an idea of how to get more involved in the Upper Valley.
Leadership Upper Valley is really the one place in the Upper Valley that I know of in which you can learn about every aspect of life in this area.
It's engaging members of the community with businesses, nonprofits. It's a knowledge learning, it's connection making.
Leadership Upper Valley is a wonderful opportunity to step out of whatever field you're currently working in and create a relationship, a network with other people who are aspiring and currently leaders in their job fields or their communities.
And it really gives you the opportunity to understand what makes this area really, really special.
It's a 10-month program, and each month we get together for a full day, one day every month, and each time we get together we focus on a different topic. So it might be education or arts and the creative economy, health and human services, economic development, justice, government and politics, or environment. Each topic we have, I have a day planner who works with me, who's a volunteer from the community, who's someone who's an expert in that area. So I work with that person to decide what are the topics that are really important to cover that are relevant right now.
Being a superintendent for a long time in the Upper and Lower Valley, I have lots of connections in my own network and was able to pull those resources in to try to help each year's participants get a good picture of what's going on in education today.
And the days are very full. So there's presenters, sometimes we tour different businesses or different venues. Sometimes we'll have some hands-on interaction. So there's lots of different ways that people get to know what's going on. There's a lot of information on every topic and a lot of really great people in the Upper Valley who could speak to it. And so we just try to distill that down to the best information so that everyone has a pretty full day, gets a lot of information, but is not, overloaded. In each class, there's a wide range of people who are in the class. There's people from large organizations in the area, small organizations, people who own their own businesses, not-for-profits, municipalities, so it's a good range of different kinds of people.
I've only been in the Upper Valley for about 7 years, but in my class were people who grew up here, have lived here their whole lives. They're in their 50s or 60s or 20s or 30s, and every single one of them at every class would say, how could I have lived here this whole time and not known that? It's for everyone. And that's the benefit of it.
It really can be anybody who wants to learn more about our area and make more of a difference.
And we've all stayed in really regular touch with each other to keep supporting each other and pushing each other to do well in the area.
We try to work on what are the important issues for the Upper Valley region and its residents. When people know more about what's going on, then they steward the land, they take care of where we are, they get more involved and care about what's going on here.
It's changed me. I love this area, and by going through the program, it reassured and confirmed to me that this is exactly where I want to be, and this is exactly where I want to be present.
Because we hope that people leave the program and want to get involved somehow, whether it's working on a service project or volunteering for some not-for-profit or joining a school board, joining a town committee, somehow getting involved.
Since I went through the program, I've been fortunate enough to be elected to the board of directors at David's House, and I'm much more involved in things in my own town and understand things that are better at a regional level.
It's such a huge region that is so robust and so full, the nonprofits, the businesses, the people, but it shows how everyone really needs to work together.
The network is intended to help people know more about the communities in which they live and work, and to help lead those communities in which they live and work.
I would encourage anybody who wants to either celebrate what makes the Upper Valley unique or sees an area that really needs improvement to go through the Leadership Upper Valley program and learn about this area from experts in those areas.
If we know more about what's there, then we can be more a part of the opportunities, the challenges, and helping to move things forward in a positive way. It creates lasting friendships on a personal and professional level that broaden each person's knowledge and then ability to make change within their communities or their workplaces.
In January, we usually start our recruitment for the next year. Applications are available online all year, and we accept people on a rolling basis. Applications will be open until June 1st or until the class is full.
Hi, my name is Bob Franzoni. I'm the Executive Director of CATV, and this is a portion of our video magazine for the month of November. And my guest is Greg Lewis, and welcome back.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
And I just want to talk to you about the importance of public access in the city of Lebanon and relaying all the information, especially now during budget time.
It's extremely important because, you know, the fundamental value of trying to have a successful community is the ability to communicate. And that's so we need to be able to transfer knowledge and information from the public setting, from those in the public policy making area and those who have to administer per that direction, to the citizens who are impacted by paying the taxes and receiving the services. And so this communication linkage has to occur because we got to look to the citizens. First of all, are they willing to the services that are being offered up? Is that services they wish the city to provide? And then two, whether the services that are being provided, are they at a level of affordability so that they can be afforded by the citizens, and the citizens as a good consumer have to weigh the cost and benefits and risk if they didn't have that service. So this is a window. Our cable access system here is a window for people to look through and receive this information, and this leads to them to be able to transmit it back to the policy leaders, in this case, City Council, and then to myself as City Manager, and that way the adjustment can be made to reflect the community.
And one thing we also put the shows on video demand so people can't watch on TV, can go back on the internet.
I guess we talk about what makes good systems, and that is systems that are flexible. Because our lifestyles that we have today are so dynamic, and we have multiple tracks going on all the time, multitasking going all the time by our families and our friends and our neighbors, and so they need the opportunity at this time in their that's suitable to them to access this information, and they can hear it directly. That's what's lovely about the fact they can come on demand, and you can pick and choose your menu as to which items you want to learn more about.
And you do a show called Lebanon in Depth twice a month. And you're really dedicated to this, and the only town official that consistently does programs like this. Why do you feel talk about Lebanon in Depth and about different aspects of Lebanon is important to also?
Well, I think Lebanon in Depth is trying to provide. It's hard for people in our modern day communities to connect, and then if you can't connect, how can you engage? So how can you connect to the governance around you and all these possibilities that are around you and the services that are provided, and how can you engage then in those services yourself? How can you do that? And this is why I think Lebanon in Depth is important, because it provides you an opportunity to connect, and it is very transparent. It is not a propaganda. It is strictly, it's facts and informations and opinions and things from our guests and people that they've carved their mark on specialized knowledge, and they share it on the show. And then so you could connect to that, and then you can engage in that. You could say that, or you can reflect on that, so you have reflective thinking. In terms of building our emotional intelligence in our community, we can engage seriousness of what this is all about. And it helps to build a city's sense of intuitive feeling about our city as a place in which to live. because Lebanon is truly a destination for all of us, and that, you know, in order to make the destination that meets our needs and our wants, then we need to be able to connect, and we need to be able to engage, and that's what Lebanon in Depth is. And I'm very happy to have CATV be able to allow us to have a Lebanon in Depth, so that twice a month we can provide this opportunity to connect and engage.
And one last thing, the city of Lebanon is the only town or city in the United States that pays their franchisees through tax base. And I know you're working through a franchise agreement with Comcast, and I guess, you know, that's on the process, and you want to talk anything about that, or?
Well, I think first of all, we must say a broad thank you to the council members, both present and past, who have lent their support in the matter of policy to think it's important enough for Lebanon to be engaged in this open window for the public to listen and understand about their government, and to listen back to them as they reflect on it, and provide direct dollars to it, so that is preserved and protected. At the same moment, we are looking at a franchise agreement for the principal cable provider here in our community at this time, Comcast, and that is because we need. It's in the past, it's been a single document that's been referred to as the authority for the presence of Comcast in our community, and we think that in the public property is the property of the people, and when it's the property of the people, that if you want to utilize it for your private business purposes, then you need a formal franchise agreement to make sure all the terms and conditions of using the people's property are put together in a very organized and very balanced way that takes into consideration the value, the costs, and the access of people in the community. This is important to us for presidential reasons, because it's a precedent for future franchises. And for anybody that's going to choose to enter into the people's property, there'll be an opportunity that we have a benchmark, and this will be a standard that you'll have to follow when you come into using people's property in our community.
Well, thank you very much for being on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. And thank you for watching this month's video magazine.
I am Amy Weishart. I'm the director at the Heartland Public Library. The One Card system is a pilot project developed in collaboration with 10 different Upper Valley, Vermont libraries. We are sharing a library card, so people who participate in this program can use the card that they have, the library card at their home library, to check out items at any other participating library throughout the Upper Valley. So I think this will be a great benefit for people who use it, because we have a lot of really great libraries in the Upper Valley in Vermont, but a lot of really small libraries, and so this enables people to have access to resources that they otherwise might not at their own library, and it gives people an option. You get to visit other great libraries. One important piece of this program is too that you have to physically go to that other library to check out the items. So it won't work for some people, but for a lot of people I think it will be a fun way to explore other libraries and to gain access to new resources. So we're pretty excited. So we modeled the system on a system called HomeCard that is active in Chittenden County in Vermont. Right now they've been going for about 15 years, so we modeled this closely on their system. This also came about because we now have a shared online catalog, so all the libraries that are participating in the One Card program have a shared catalog, so patrons can just go online and search the same catalog for items that might be available at different libraries. So we thought this was a perfect time to roll this out and encourage more resource sharing and encourage people to seek out other libraries in the area for information that they need. So if you're interested in being part of the One Card program, talk to your home library, so the library where you currently have a card. It is only Vermont Upper Valley libraries. And each library has their own rules about who gets a One Card. At our library in Heartland, we're giving it to anybody who has been a library member for at least 6 months. And we're throughout the system, we are just offering it to adults right now. We're doing a 1-year pilot to see how it goes, and then we'll review our policies. And definitely, we're also always open to feedback too. So yeah, we hope a lot of people use it.
When Hello, welcome. I'm Adam from Yoga to Go. This is Richard, a student who's been coming to my class for approximately the past 9 months with his wife. And today we're going to introduce downward facing dog, or in Sanskrit, the mother language of yoga, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So there's a few simple variations which include blocks under the hands or lifted heels up against the edge of the wall. Due to space and other variables, I'll just be showing the standard downward dog with some verbal cues. So Richard, would you please come to your hands and knees? So typically, to come into downward facing dog, the palms under the shoulders, the knees and feet hip-width apart, the palms in line with the feet, and vice versa. So curling the toes under as you press through the palms, legs lengthening, hips lifted, the head and neck relaxed, gazing towards the ankles or knees. We're extending upward through the spine, so we're drawing the chest towards the thighs, and the palms evenly grounded. So pressing firmly down through the base of the forefingers, drawing that double spiral, so the palms inward, keeping the forefingers grounded, with a slight outward spiral up through the arms, drawing the shoulder blades up the back being we're in the triangle or downward facing dog, and extending out through the heels. So always aware of our connection to the earth. We're grounding through the palms, the center of the palms like suction cups. And as we press out through the heels, we're drawing the energy both upward from the palms and the feet up towards the buttocks. So there's a general stretching sensation from fingertip to base of the spine, as well as from the heels to the base of the spine. The head and neck relaxed. And Richard, if you could exhale and release to the hands and knees for one moment. So many of you watchers may or may not be familiar with cat-cow. So Richard, if you could show our viewers cat-cow briefly. So as you exhale, rounding through the spine into cat, you inhale, releasing the belly earthward, gaze outward for cow. One more time. Exhale, round it. And this time as you inhale, maintaining the cow-like arch and curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. So by maintaining that cow-like arch, we're keeping a straighter spine, almost accentuating the natural lordosis through the lower spine, and continuing to draw the tailbone up, taking some of the weight out of the palms and wrists. How are you doing, Richard? Is it almost a restorative pose now? Excellent. So Master Iyengar, one of the yoga acharyas who has brought yoga to the West from India, says by incorporating down dog with the quadriceps engaged on a daily basis, one will achieve beautiful legs. Are your quadriceps engaged, Richard? Excellent. That's good. So if there's rounding, so if you're new to down dog and there's rounding, can you round through the spine like that? So if there's rounding through the spine, you can bend the knees, which will then, and then extend up through the tailbone, which will then flatten out the lower spine. The head and neck still relaxed, gazing towards the ankles. Now you can come into your standard down dog, lengthening the feet. And oftentimes, through regular practice, the heels will eventually come to the mat. And this is a great pose for runners because runners get very tight in the back of the legs. So here, when I first introduce this pose in a class, I have people pedal the feet out, bending one knee and then the other. So it's a great warm-up preparing for the flow of the future poses to come. And continuing to press down equally through both palms, extending up through the heels, maybe even rocking it out one side to the other in unison with the breath. Are you feeling relaxed, Richard? Excellent. And doing this pose 3 to 5 minutes a day also greatly builds up the upper body. So typically the average person breathes 15 times per minute, so you don't need a timer to do 3 to 5 minutes. Simply 45 breaths at the minimum. And exhale, slowly releasing, coming to the knees to extended child's pose. Thank you so much for coming. Namaste.
My name is Sydney Stowe, and I am the manager of Hopkins Center Film. And I would like to welcome you all to the Halloween-a-thon, the 3rd annual, and the first partnership between CATV and the Hopkins Center.
We are Fabulous Films.
We're Me Inc.
My team name is the Scorpions.
So what are you guys most excited about tonight?
Oh, it's just so much fun to be here and fun to be part of the event again.
I've been looking forward to this night since I knew about the Halloween-a-thon.
Seeing all the different creations that people have made.
I'm really excited to see the creativity and what everyone else has done.
It's going to be nice to see the film, the final product, yeah.
And it's the best place to show it here at the Black Arts Center, right?
What did you find the most difficult about producing a film in the 1 month period that you had?
It's a short film, so we kind of had to cram a lot of the plot and idea into it in a very concise kind of manner.
I think trying to make it make sense.
Making it fit in 5 minutes. Probably the outside scene that we did. Can't tell a lot, but we have outside scenes on a bike and main roads, so it's pretty challenging.
There was no challenging part. We always have fun doing this.
It's the director.
Tell me a little bit about your costume. What are you?
I'm a witch.
I am supposed to be one of the Volturi from the vampire movie Twilight. So I am Deadmau5, and he's a DJ, and he's got this great head, so I thought I would try to make one. And I think it turned out pretty well, so that's my costume.
So you made this?
I did. It took me a couple weeks. It's like a lamp globe and some foam, some styrofoam, just all glued and drilled and cut together, so that was fun. I am a Lego Dracula.
Put on your costume. Nice.
One month, 29 teams, 3 age groups, culminating in a 2-night film premiere event. This year, CATV partnered with the Hopkins Center for the Arts at Dartmouth College to bring the Upper Valley community our biggest and yes, spookiest Halloween-a-thon event yet. Enjoy.
Whatever happened to Cousin Artie? Blew his mind out at a 60s party. Such a fine graduation speech. Nothing seen beyond his reach. In the summer of in another pleasant time.
Do you want to rely on that engine and sit there and sweat bullets while they go and they might beat you, or you want to go head to head?
on your mark. Get set, go. Someone in a paper dress pushed him to the floor in a painted German car. We heard him close the door.
We welcome you to this very special assembly at our school. Last week, many teachers and adults came to our school to look at the items that were placed in the time capsule 25 years ago.
This is a book of our favorite foods by Miss Reindel's class. This is a book of all the fun things we all get to do. We made a Mount Vernon School Rules book about the rules. In second grade, we all made books about what we like now. We answered questions about our favorite things. We wrote about how old we will be in 25 years and what we will be doing. We even included pictures of us now.
We made projects for the time capsule about our favorite items of clothing and our favorite songs.
This is our class. We will be contributing items to the time capsule that reflect current events.
These mementos include a Valley News, Time Magazine, Time for Kids, and Storybooks.
We wrote paragraphs describing where we think we'll be in 25 years from now.
And our hope is that in 25 years you will come back with your families when it's opened up again.
Louise will be.
Yeah, maybe. You'll be the baby. Yeah.